think it is important to remember the fallen soldiers as they gave their lives for our freedom, and this is something that should never be forgotten.
I think that it's important to remember the fallen soldiers on Remembrance Day, because they worked and fought extremely hard to get us to where we are today. And without them, we might not be as we are now.
I think Remembrance Day should always be remembered. I think it should be remembered because many, many people sacrificed their lives so we could live a happy life and a safe one as well.
We remember because we cannot allow ourselves to forget. It was such a terrible time that they had to endure, and we can't allow their sacrifice to be forgotten.
I think it's important to remember soldiers because they fought for our country and for our freedom.
We need to remember the fallen soldiers because imagine what it must have felt like as pretty much still a child to have to go to a different country by yourself, and at the back of your head you know that you're probably not going to be coming home. It's really scary, it's absolutely horrible, so we have to remember them.
I ask you to stand with me for both the injured and the lost. I ask you to keep count with me for all the wars and what they cost. I ask you to be silent with me, quietly grateful for our lot, as I expect you're as grateful as me for this life and health we've got. I ask that you wish them well with me, all those still risking their all. And I ask that you remember with me the names of all who fall. I expect you're proud like me of this great nation of ours too. So enjoying all its freedoms like me, supporting those who uphold them for you. I hope that you're hopeful like me that will soon bring an end to war. So you'll have no more to stand with me, and mourning families no different from yours. Until then, be glad that you can stand with me, thinking of those who cannot. For at least standing here today with me, you're making sure they're not forgot.
The biggest challenge for isolation for me was not being able to see family and friends, and this makes me think about the soldiers who were separated from their families on a higher scale and having the fear of never seeing them again.
Isolation was a challenge for so many people during the first lockdown, like it would have been in the war. My biggest challenge during lockdown was probably feeling very unconnected with the outside world. Of course, there is now social media, unlike there would have been during the World War, but it just isn't the same as seeing and experiencing something in real life. This links to the war because many children or even adults might have been sent away from where they knew or who they knew, just to go into hiding and being sure about where or what would happen next.
One similarity between challenges people faced in lockdown and challenges for the soldier was the battle between mental health. Lots of people struggled with their mental health, and obviously on a much larger scale the soldiers did, particularly in World War I.
My biggest challenge during isolation was not being able to see my friends and family in person because I missed them so much. I imagine this is how people in wartime Britain also felt with members of their family going away to fight. However, I am grateful that I live in a time where I can keep in touch with my friends and family remotely.
On a cold November Sunday morn, an old man sits a while. Looking through old photographs, he can't help but smile. They're all there, all the boys with their hair cut short and neat, uniforms of khaki, strong black boots upon their feet. They met as strangers, but soon became brothers to the end. Smiling at the camera, there could be no truer friends. They all took the Queen's shillings, went off to fight the Hun, soon learnt the pain of loss once fighting had begun. So many never made it home, lost on foreign shores. Many more were injured and would be the same no more. The old man's eyes mist with tears as he remembers every face, each of his fallen brothers and the killings which took place. He proudly dons his beret, his blazer and his tie, for today he will remember the ones who fell and died. On his chest there is a poppy, a blaze of scarlet on the blue. He steps out into the cold. He has a duty he must do. Once at the cenotaph, he stands amongst the ranks of those who marched to war and those who manned the tanks. He bows his head in reverence as the last post begins to play, and he wonders what will happen at the endings of his days. Will anyone remember? Will anybody care about the lad so far from home whose life was ended there? I wish that I could tell him that he should fear not, for the soldier and his brothers will never be forgot. We owe a debt of gratitude that we can never pay, and this country will remember on each Remembrance Day.
Working together is such a good thing. It gives us time to think about others around us, ask questions and reflect on their different cultures, beliefs and families. In this remembrance, we are thinking about working together, such as the troops from the British Empire and the women who fought from home, working in the British factories or tending to the wounded on the front line.
One example of who we remember is nurses. It's important to remember these women because they helped the injured, and at the time of World War I, there were many diseases that nurses cured. It's also important to remember the fighters from Newfoundland. In the First World War, the population of Newfoundland was only around 250,000 people, yet over 6,000 men served in the regiment, and 1,300 of those men died. Women were encouraged to work with the Department of Agriculture to grow and preserve food.
We remember the people who fought and took part in the war. The empire itself was crucial. 5 million came from Britain, over 1 million from India, 600,000 from Canada, 400,000 from Australia, and over 100,000 from South Africa, New Zealand, and other colonies. It wasn't only men either. Women were also pivotal. The women in the empire served as nurses, WRAF members, the WREN, and factory workers. They worked together by helping each other, growing food and fighting.
One positive of working together is that big problems can be solved much faster and we can get help from each other. For example, various countries have helped each other all through history and countries have gained allies. We are remembering soldiers from the Commonwealth and the empires who helped Britain. We are also remembering women in colonies who helped us fight and survive.
Whilst this pandemic has been happening, I have been helping my friends and they have been helping me. In such difficult times, you have to be there for people and others will be there for you.
We remember those that came before us, so to see how hard people worked and how much their problems outweigh our recent worldwide ones. We have a new illness among us, but they had their hometowns being bombed, fathers and brothers sent away with only a small chance they'll survive. Nonetheless, during times like these, we should all work on sticking together and looking out for each other.
This links to people working together during the pandemic, listening to government advice and staying indoors. We remember the soldiers and women of the war in such a difficult time because we we show respect to the people who laid down their lives to fight alongside them.
We're going to be singing I Remember by Sarah Quartel.
Son, a fine young man, his duty done, yet not for him the fond embrace, a loving kiss, a smiling face.
Or cries of joy to laugh and cheer, the safe return of one so dear. It is his lot to show the world a soldier's fate as flags unfurl, and standards lower in salutation, symbols of a grateful nation.
Somewhere now the drums beat low, as he is carried, gentle so, as if not to disturb his rest, by comrades 3 and 3 abreast.
Who now as quiet orders sound, they one by one move around, to place him in the carriage decked with flowers in calm and hushed respect. Prepared for the sad, slow ride through silent crowds who wait outside. So the warrior now returns to native soil and rightly earns
the great respect to one so young, through sadness still, the waiting throng. While flowers strew the path he takes, as the carriage slowly makes a final turning to allow the veterans standing there to show the soldiers' pride a silent, mute, proud and respectful last salute.
Yet, while onlookers stand and see the simple moving ceremony, there is a home, a place somewhere, where sits a waiting vacant chair, and one great yawning empty space in someone's heart, no last embrace,
to bid a final fond farewell, and who will forever dwell. In love and cherished memory, a husband, son, eternally.
The benefits of working together are that you can all share ideas and help each other. I think working together benefited wartime Britain because everybody came together in their communities to support each other and do their bit for the war effort.
A benefit of collaboration is that it brings us closer as people and as a community, and it allows ideas to spread much easier.
Benefits of working together and working as a team is that it is so much easier doing things together rather than alone. Working together also gets things finished and completed faster. You also have others to help you out when you are working together, and during the war I think working together played an important role in staying positive and having hope. Soldiers work together, wives left at home work together, and children work together. Even countries work together to fight through the war.
The benefits of working together means that no one's alone. It's the bringing together of the community to collectively support each other, boost morale and solve problems as one, just like the community of soldiers who looked after each other and fought together, as well as the people left at home who came together to keep the country going and make sure that everyone was okay.
I think the benefits of working together are so vast it could really help to achieve stuff. I think wartime Britain benefited from working together because instead of resisting, the majority of people listened, and even though times are so hard, people coped because of their communities working together to help people.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun in the morning, we will remember them. For those who go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, you gave up today.